Is this?
Yeah, it's on.
It's on?
Hi, hello, can you hear us?
Am I audible? All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope all of you are very excited because we are. So we're going to talk about how AI and next-gen tools are transforming consumer and manufacturing industries. We'll talk about key innovations. We'll talk about biggest challenges that the businesses are facing and how they are adapting. Finally, we'll explore what it means for service providers and how they can stay competitive in this environment. I'm Jyotika. I'm a lead analyst with Avasant. I have close to 4 years of experience in this industry. And in Avasant, I work with the industry research team covering heavy industries such as manufacturing, aerospace and defense, freight and logistics, and high tech. Let me welcome the panel. We have Rachit Bhagat, who's a partner with Avasant. He has more than 2 decades of experience in strategic sourcing and digital transformation. He has worked for clients across retail, CPG, and manufacturing industries in the US and Europe. He helped them improve provider relations. He helped them reduce costs and integrate new technologies. Welcome, Rajat. We look forward to hear your insights on innovation, efficiency, and the future of sourcing. Joining him, we have Sahaj Kumar. He's an Associate Research Director. He has more than 14 years of experience in strategy consulting, product strategy, and research. He has led some high impact consulting projects for technology vendors as well as for enterprises. At Avasant, he heads the Avasant research practice for industry, including retail, CPG, manufacturing, and sustainability. Welcome, Sahaj.
Thank
We are
you.
excited to hear your insights today. So, give me 1 second. All right. So we have been tracking these industries and data points across the IT trends. Here we have presented some of the interesting points we saw. The graphs that you see here, they represent the IT spending as a percentage of revenue across retail and manufacturing industries. Here we see the median IT spending. For retail, we see it's 2.9%. For discrete manufacturing, it's 2.3%. And for process manufacturing, it's 1.6%. Through this data, we recognize that companies that invest more in IT, they are investing, they are focusing on digital transformation, on e-commerce, cybersecurity, and also on data analytics in order to stay competitive. In both the industries, we see that AI-driven automation and Industry 4.0, they are driving the IT spending higher. Companies are also investing in VR technology for employee training as well as for customer engagement. So we see that these investments are not just about keeping up with the trends. These investments are actually shaping the future and how businesses operate and engage with customers. Right. So we see that technology is fundamentally reshaping the industries across the entire value chain, starting with market research and going to aftermarket sales. They are making businesses more efficient, agile, and customer-centric. So major shift we see is through the immersive technologies such as AR, VR, how they are transforming customer interactions and improving design. At the same time, we also see that autonomous systems, they are reducing reliance over human intervention and they are allowing businesses to streamline operation and increase efficiency. We also notice how AI ML, how crucial they are in helping companies predict demand, optimize supply chain, and also create personalized customer experiences. Another game changer here is robotics, how it is automating repetitive tasks with high precision, how it is boosting productivity and reducing costs. So together, all these innovations, they are driving industries towards a more data-centric and intelligent customer-centric future. Right. So with these advancements and innovations we see technologically, they create exciting opportunities, but businesses also face significant challenges. One of the biggest hurdles till date is supply chain complexity and disruptions. To tackle this, we see enterprises, they are adopting real-time analytics and advanced monitoring tools to improve the visibility and to build resilience in their supply chains. Cybersecurity has also become a growing concern as digital platforms expand. With increasing cyber threats and cyber threats, businesses are strengthening their security infrastructure to protect the sensitive data. Sustainability and regulatory compliance are no longer optional. With the government and consumers, they are demanding greater accountability, pushing companies to adopt greener practices. Personalization is also a key differentiator with evolving customer expectations. Businesses are leveraging data analytics to understand consumer behavior and also to create customized offerings. However, the pace of technological changes has created a skill gap in these industries. To address this, many of the companies are implementing digital training platforms to upskill their workforce so that they keep with pace with the industry advancements. Additionally, operational efficiencies remain a challenge, but automation and AI-driven tools are helping enterprises optimize workflows and overall improve the productivity. Right. So, as businesses navigate this digital transformation, service providers have a crucial role in supporting and accelerating these changes. One of the biggest areas of focus right now is sustainability, where companies are looking for technology solutions to help them achieve environmental goals without compromising the profitability. AI-driven hyper-personalization is also gaining traction as businesses strive to meet evolving consumer demand by delivering more and more tailored experiences to their customers. Optimizing aftermarket services has become increasingly important with predictive maintenance solutions to enhance the customer satisfaction and also to improve efficiency. Workforce upskilling is another pressing issue, and service providers can step up by offering specialized training platforms that prepare enterprises for the future. At the same time, collaboration and co innovation are creating new opportunities for service providers to work alongside industry leaders in developing cutting edge technologies, solutions. By focusing on these key areas, they can position as essential partners in this transformation, helping businesses unlock new efficiencies, enhance customer experience, and also stay ahead of the competition. All right, so with this context in mind, let me move to the esteemed panel and get their thoughts on how they see industries evolving. So, Rachit, since you work with a lot of enterprise customers in these industries, so for the leaders, what do you see as the most significant trends currently shaping these industries?
Yeah, so firstly, I think it's some task to follow this presentation after Kevin, right? And hopefully we can do justice in talking about some of these trends in terms of impacting especially the retail, CPG, and manufacturing industry, right? If you look at a lot of these industry, they've always operated in a highly competitive macro environment. They're operating on a really thin margin, so there's always been a focus on retaining customers, customer loyalty, and customer-specific personalization. So the trends for personalization is not really new, but the level of depth and insight that we are seeing now with the augmentation of AI technology is what is driving the hyper personalization, and is not just about knowing your customer, but knowing your customers' demand even before they realize it. So there is a lot of analytics, there is curated customer experience that we are seeing leveraged across these technologies for the clients. The other big phenomena that we are seeing in these industry, and Kevin did touch upon it, is about the resilience of the supply chain. The companies are thinking about how to reinvent, reshape their supply chains, given the globalization has made a lot of these supply chains extremely complex. There are goods moving across the globe. There are countless suppliers and logistic providers that are there. And there is added layer of complexity that comes in with the focus on environmental impact, sustainability, and the regulatory. So we are seeing lot of clients leverage AI technologies in terms of supply chain optimization, route optimization. They are looking at weather patterns. They are looking at traffic conditions in terms of minimizing their delivery time and fuel consumption. There is also a big trend about putting a lot of focus on demand planning and forecasting, leveraging again AI for much granular level demand forecasting, looking at historic sales data in terms of market trends to really prevent stockouts and overstocks. And the companies are not just limiting it to the demand planning and forecasting. They are also venturing into looking at a lot of hyper localization as a new trend. They are trying to bring their production closer to the customer. And now it might sound counterintuitive given that the globe is getting flat, but a lot of companies are realizing that disruption in one part of the world can have ripple effects across their entire supply chain. So the idea is to have more consolidated, agile production closer to the house. And these are just few examples. We are seeing more and more of these trends evolving. And from our clients' perspective, our clients need to be agile and adaptive if they are to compete in this highly dynamic environment. So a lot of these trends, we saw a lot of them on the value chain that was out there for retail, CPG, and marketing. And the clients are really embracing and adopting and changing for these.
Absolutely, Rachit. We know that retail, CPG, and manufacturing companies have always aimed to keep customers loyal. But with AI, they can predict the customers, what customers want before even they know it. So, Sahaj, looking at these megatrends that Rachit discussed, which technological advancements do you think are having the biggest impact today?
Thanks, Jyotika. I think I'll probably build on top of what Rachit said. I think three key things are about hyper-localization, hyper-personalization, and resilience of supply chain. If you kind of look at it, I think technologies such as AI and ML are kind of helping in unlocking new efficiencies and doing business better by helping in taking data-driven decisions. When we talk about specifically for manufacturing and retail companies, IoT and IIoT are helping in doing connecting sensors and helping in doing a lot of predictive maintenance as we see, right? Thirdly, I think a lot of technologies in terms of blockchain is helping in understanding the origins of the products. It's helping in understanding the complete transparency of supply chain, which I think Rachit was talking about. And along with this, I think one another key focus area, specifically when we talk about consumer industries and manufacturing, specifically is on sustainability. So there's a lot of gaining prominence on sustainable technologies, and I think there's a lot of partnerships that we see happening between service providers and a lot of enterprises. Along with that, I think Gen AI, Kevin touched upon it. We in Avasant also have been using it, and Gen AI is kind of literally disrupting and changing ways of how we really do business. And I remember I was just researching about one airline company yesterday. They are kind of doing a POC on ticket booking. So now imagine a scenario where when you are going and trying, whether you're on your business travel or a leisure travel, you're going and trying to do that ticket booking, and it generates that complete itinerary for you. It helps, has partner websites. It plans those itineraries for you. It does the hotel bookings. It does your, local transport bookings and everything. So that definitely is going to transform, the complete industry, the way that we have always thought about it, right? And lastly, I think 5G is doing hyperconnectivity, really helping us and enterprises to run those critical applications bigger, better, and faster.
Definitely, definitely. Technology is making industries smarter and more efficient, and as says discussed about sustainable innovations and how it's driving growth and competition, competitiveness. So Rachit, we talked about the current developments in the industry, but what development do you foresee over the next 2-3 years, and how might they shape the future businesses, business models? Like with the technological adoption, what all new business models and revenue streams do you see emerging? If you can just share some examples of enterprise-led innovations that you see.
Yeah, so I mean, we touched upon how supply chain is remodeling the entire business operation and the business value chain for a lot of these industries. But more and more, we are also seeing what is direct to consumer in terms of not just retailers, but manufacturers as well, bypassing the traditional distribution channels in order to directly reach to the customers. So that's a new shift in terms of the business model. They are offering a lot of adoptive technologies, but also giving curated and bespoke products to the customers through these value chains and new business models. There is also the subscription-led model based, just like retailers are offering now Amazon Primes and the subscription model. We are seeing a shift for in manufacturing industry as well, from selling of products to selling of services, and what is being termed in the market as servitization of the products. So we are seeing more and more of maintenance services, predictive analytics, repair services being packaged as part of the manufacturing in more subscription-based model. And John Ree and others were probably few of the ones initially in the manufacturing to offer these business models. But now even our common day-to-day cars are a good example of it, right? We get an alert on our car if our engine oil is overdue, if our repairs are overdue, or if we need a battery replacement. So there is more of shifting from selling of just products to selling of services across these industries. And to talk about few of our examples, client, I mean, a lot of our clients in this space are leveraging AI to transform their business operations. For our Fortune 500 client that is in the space of flavors and fragrances manufacturing, they are undergoing massive transformation. They've made acquisitions across the globe and Europe. They are on an SFE S4 transformation journey, but they are leveraging these opportunities for transformation to really fundamentally change their core operations by leveraging AI for molecular design for perfume creations, and this is really core to their business. One of the other examples that we are seeing across manufacturing is leveraging of AI in the factory floor, analyzing a lot of sensory data and predicting equipment failures and preventive maintenance in that regard. The other aspects that we are seeing in terms of changing of these business model is also the pace at which we are seeing this change. For our retail customer, which is in the home furnishing in the Benelux region, they were primarily on a lot of physical analog. About 80% of their business was through catalogs, in-store experience. But the pace at which they've transformed their business, we are seeing at about 60% of their business is online and digital. So we are seeing more and more of these business model, business operation transformation at a much rapid pace for a lot of our clients.
Right. So, Sahaj, as we saw Rachit's insights, how the companies are using AI and digital tools to create these personalized shopping experiences, to shift to direct to consumer models, and to even turn products into services. But as enterprises undergo this transformation, what challenges do you see that they are facing in adopting and scaling these technologies?
So in my opinion, Jyotika, if you kind of really look at it, there's a shift actually that is happening right now as we speak, right? So it's more about a shift that I see from a digital transformation to an AI first business transformation, right? And this is kind of fundamentally testing the enterprises all over again. So if you kind of really look at what has happened earlier, in the name of transformation, there was over digitalization or over indexing of legacy systems that happened. And as a result of which, there was a lot of integration challenges, and the infrastructure was essentially not ready to run the new age digital applications that we talk about. So I think that's the infrastructure or the legacy architecture that enterprises have is one of the key challenge that they are facing in running of these new age, AI first world that or transformation and tools and technologies that we call it. Secondly, I think along with this, the other challenge that they have was also about the resistance to change. So a lot of times when enterprises try to bring in new technologies, systems, and processes, there was a resistance in terms of employees sometimes not thinking that this might replace their job. The other can be also about the new discomfort with working with new kind of processes and systems. That can be another thing. And the third is also about when enterprises really look at all of these new age technologies coming in, creating that hyper connected ecosystem internally. This creates a lot of challenge in terms of the cybersecurity threats that we talk about, right? And a lot of these combined together has created huge complex integration challenges for enterprises. But I think if you really ask me, I think the AI first business transformation is really giving all of the enterprises a second chance, and they are really looking forward to work with, say, for example, service providers or technology partners who really help them in navigating this journey as we see, right? And in my opinion, I think the age of digital transformation is probably shifting to an AI first transformation, the way that would be.
Right, sir. It's truly said. So through with this digital transformation evolving into AI first business transformation, as you mentioned, companies we think that companies must rethink their operations. They must overcome legacy system challenges and also embrace AI to drive the real change. But Rachit, with this rise of AI and other technological advancements, what are the challenges that you see in contracting AI managed services in this new landscape?
Yeah, so I mean, the first and foremost challenge in sourcing or contracting for this is the scale of operations. To put some perspective, there are across these AI platform providers, most of them just have about 150 to 200 employees. Of that, only about 10 to 15% are actually in professional services or consulting services, right? Most of majority of their workforce is either product engineering, research development, and marketing and sales. So that's one big challenge in terms of the talent and the scale of operations to have it globally. Now, a lot of these technologies do promise a lot of automation, but there will always be a need to have customization, human intervention. So that's one big area. The very nature of these technologies and AI, they are dynamic in nature. So to clearly define their scope is a big challenge. So we look at it and recommend to a lot of our clients to look at it from a phasing perspective, from the piloting to scaling to optimization, and that's how to define when we are trying to define the scope for these services. These services come with their own integrate challenges across data, IP ownership, as well as limitation of liability, right? And data and IP ownership are crucial in these contractings. There are to be joint IP models that are to be put in place, given that there is new content being created autonomously as well, right? And some of the traditional SLAs would probably not be relevant as well. The uptime, the response time are no longer relevant. So we need to think about the right SLAs in terms of the model accuracy, probably bias mitigation, in terms of having the retraining and reconfiguration of these models as the new applicable SLAs. We might not have all the solutions fine-tuned right now, but the partners over here, everybody in this room has a key role to play in terms of sharing their underlying processes and building the trust and navigating a lot of these clients across this transformative landscape to help source and contract in this new operating model.
Right. So, seeing all these challenges that Rachit mentioned in AI managed services and also other challenges that we saw with other technologies, Sahaj, can you explain how enterprises are balancing this tech adoption with sustainability and compliance goals?
No, absolutely. I think sustainability and compliance becomes extremely important when we essentially talk about manufacturing, CPG, and retail, right? If you kind of look at it, there's a lot of changes that have happened in terms of the regulation, whether you take an example of CSRD, TCFD, and several others, and several regulations coming in from the European Union, right? So what this does is, let's take an example of a retailer, right? So they are right now looking at ways and means for recycling. They are looking at, ways and means of how enterprises are trying to look at reducing their carbon footprint. They're looking at, using AI and machine learning to reduce their waste, to reduce their energy costs, right? If you look at manufacturing, or let's take an example of aerospace and defense in that. So in that, a lot of companies that we see and the enterprises are really looking at how they can work to achieve their sustainability development goals. And in order to do that, a lot of them are looking at cleaner, efficient fuels, or something like an example I was reading about Airbus and Boeing, both of them looking for sustainable aviation fuels. Right. Similarly, if you kind of look at retailers like Apple, 22% close to their products in packaging is coming from recyclable materials, right? And if you kind of look at this, this is essentially just not happening because of the regulations. Essentially, a lot of manufacturing retail companies traditionally have also been penalized for greenwashing, I would say. A large cement manufacturer, as an instance, was kind of penalized for reporting, lower water pollutants than the plant generally had, right? Similarly, there were other automobile giants. We all have heard about them, where emission norms and everything have been really, help them and kind of penalize them. So I think sustainability is becoming the key, and I think they are also looking at partnering with service providers to help them in development of a sustainability AI platform, and which can essentially help them in meeting their sustainability targets.
Right, right. So, Rajat, one quick question for you. So, hearing Sahaj talk about service providers, what all services they deliver, what strategies you think they should adopt according to you, like to stay ahead and to deliver long-term value in this complex, with these complex requirements?
Yeah, I think if I was to sum it, and we talked about it as well, think about AI first delivery models and the shift and the journey of your clients from the traditional human based models to an AI augmented model to eventually AI driven and then to a fully autonomous AI model, right? That is something that we would look for partners and this ecosystem to drive. Obviously, this won't happen overnight, right? This would require a phased approach in terms of the right technological investments. There is a massive change management to it, as well as upscaling of the resources and the talent, both on our side and everybody in this room, as well as walking our clients along with us on that journey and reskilling and our clients' resources and talent as well.
Right. So, Rachit, what would you like to share with our audience as your final thoughts before we close this discussion?
Think AI first, think customer, think about walking the journey with the clients as we talked about, and then be abreast of all of these changes and the trends that we are having and looking at.
Right. And Sahaj, what are your thoughts about our
So
conversation?
just in the interest of time, I think we have gone over, but
Right.
I think for me, the key things are when we talk about, I think from a megatrend, hyper-personalization, hyper-localization, and resilience to supply chain and transparency in supply chains is extremely important. From a service provider perspective, I think you talked about a lot of it in your slides as well, but I think in my opinion, They need to work with organizations to co-develop solutions and really help them in navigating the journey. So you need to think as a strategic partner rather than a vendor. And the solutions that service providers are building for their customers is essentially needs to be of a particular scale, tailored to that industry and the size of the company, as well as the digital maturity that they are in. So those would be my final comments.
Right. So as we wrap up, it is clear that technology-driven transformation, it is redefining CPG, retail, and manufacturing industries. And I'd like to thank the panelists. I'd like to thank the audience for coming today. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.